Well, it was a really good start for Detonate on that first map. It was a phenomenal start, even. But they weren't able to close it out. Boggs and Paladin here on the mic, and well, Paladin, we got a bit of a match pause because headset issue. We're going to be back here in about 90 seconds, but guys, really, Detonate, it was a tale of two different teams almost. They seemed like they just got abducted and replaced.
Mm-hmm. It's like all fire was lit under the asses of Vendetta, and they just looked like a team possessed. Pluto, especially. I mean, some of the aggressive plays that he made on Mirage was just a sight to behold. Muhu as well had his moments. Consti on the CT side, keeping him in it. I mean, I'm excited to keep watching these guys put on a show for us, because right now it's Detonate's David versus a Goliath moment. I know we basically spoke about it at the beginning in the pregame, but even more so this time around, Vox.
Yeah, I mean, Mirage was their chance to bring it to a third map, realistically speaking.
Mm-hmm.
They started off great, but then they got smashed by Goliath. Now, do they have a sling? Do they have the right stone? And do they have the shot to take it out here on Ancient? That's the better question, because that's where it all rests now. They have to make their win work here and now on Ancient. And of all the maps to do it, it's arguably one of their worst, if not the worst. They've been blown out on it twice. They played it twice. It's not a pleasant map for them. And meanwhile, Vendetta, they're 2-3, but they still like the map all the same. So, Detonate, it's a bit concerning going up into this map. They've already blown their chance on Mirage. They do get to start on the CT side, but their win rate's almost equal, about 38-39% on both sides.
Oh, that's so concerning. That statistic is a very worrisome one. Even if you're getting your side of choice, if you're not able to capitalize, that's going to be a real problem. Jermanji does start things off, though, but they're into the B site. It's not mid, it is B.
Landmaz going to try and hold with Leersey. A push in from Tender will actually mow down Landmaz. Leersey can't stop the plant. Finally does come up with it. Tender's got a couple of different targets at his disposal, and neither will be felled. Woohoo with only one. And we start this one as we did on Mirage, with Detonate taking the initial pistol round. They denied the bomb plant, luckily enough. That one a little too close for comfort there. But Detonate have started off maps very well. Their main problem has been with closing them out.
I mean, cute little double... Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I like the little double flash pop setup from Cave there, but yeah, I mean, not clearing your angles, not considering first there is really their demise, and no bomb plant as well relegates them down to the pistols.
Yeah, P250s on 2, Glocks, a flashbang, and a B pop coming through again, although Woohoo's just going to try and isolate a fight and maybe win it. Wolffe needs to get that kill. Landmaz will come in and salvage the day, but that could have been a little dangerous there for Wolffe there. Something that, well, he was hitting a lot of dinks in that last map, and it was a little unfortunate for him because the M4 just doesn't have the same finishing power as the AK. But there, he really needs to be able to get that kill. If he died with no trade back, it's a gun picked up and maybe even a chance for a bomb plant for Vendetta. But he is saved there by Landmaz. And now we push into Cave. It's a good flashbang from Jermanji. Noxio will go forward with the MP9, get a couple of big kills. Jermanji will also get a kill for himself. Pluto will get mowed down by Nox. Hat-trick for him, and Detonate will win a flawless victory. So it's starting off a little bit better here than it did a Mirage. Marginally so. But it's Ancient, right? It's arguably the most CT-setted map in the pool right now.
Mm-hmm.
How many rounds did Detonate need here to really be able to get some confidence going?
I think double digits is an absolute must. I mean, you're having trouble getting 7 rounds on T side and needing just 9 to close. I mean, this is going to be an even taller task. You've got to get at least double digits, and they've gone for a bonus here, which is well and good, especially with the amount of money that the MP9's racked up in the previous. But they could be sitting pretty here if they are able to convert this bonus, and they're going aggressive with these MP9s quite early.
It's expected. traded out nicely by Vendetta. Consti stands up tall. 90-degree flick onto Noxio, who's not able to get more than one. Pluto will hold out in middle. Wolffe does get one, so this is winnable for him. The bomb has not yet gone down either, so we can make it in time for the bomb to just about come down. That Molotov will stall him, though. Wait, it bounced up. It didn't go through, but he spots out one. Has a nade, and is that going to be enough to take out Consti? It takes him so low. It's going to come down to timing versus Woohoo and the trade potential Consti has behind the site as well, behind the side pillar. Wolffe's in a dangerous dance with death. And his gun barrel shows. Woohoo's got the angle, got the spray. Doesn't have the kill, but Consti's there for the trade. And that nade, if it was a little bit earlier, could have won the round for Wolffe. But he comes up empty-handed. A lot of damage done, though, on the bonus.
Brutal situation there for all parties. I mean, couple shots going awry there. Wolffe nearly clutching it out, but 2v1 synergy on the B bomb side. Retakes are always quite difficult on that side of the map. And Vendetta get on the board early. It was a bonus round. That is sometimes how the cookie crumbles. When you've got 4 MP9s, you've got to go aggressive. And if some of those quick two-piece setups don't actually work out in your favor, rounds can quickly fall apart. But that being said, triple rifles, 1 SMG, AWP out for landmass. Things are looking good, but in terms of utility, we're just down to 2 flashes. An opening pick does help, though.
We saw this scenario a couple of times, though, back on Mirage, where Detonate would burn through a lot of their CT utility very early. And they don't have the stall power, even if they do get the opening pick. Look, the trade comes back, and the whole round kind of just turns on its head. Woo with a double down. Entries up here. Tender's taking a lot of the damage, being that sponge for Woohoo, but now look at the damage he just did to Lyrsy. He's down to 10 HP. Momo will aggress into him, and down he goes. So it's a save call now for Jermanji and Wolffe. And for Detonate, things are very early starting to spiral away from them. Great start on the pistol, great start on the anti-eco. But once the guns come into factor, once the rifles are in the hands of Vendetta, Vendetta just took another step ahead.
And that's the issue when you have those MP9 bonus rounds. I mean, if you're not able to get enough done with those bonus rounds, that's when that CT economy can be really a brutal price to pay. And not having all the bells and whistles post-bonus round came back to eventually bite them. That sore lack of utility, not being able to stall out this B hit, came back to bite them. Whatever utility they did have had gaps in it. So early punishes here for Vendetta to even out early on. And it's these 2 rifles that are saved over. Nothing to really buy alongside it, though. So we're heading into round 5 with a chance for Vendetta to take an early lead.
And a lead on the T side is something you don't really see on this map, but it would be huge for Vendetta to really just establish their dominance here, which is kind of what we need to see from them. Just play like they know they're the overdogs. Tender takes a dink, but he mows down the rifle anyways. Lyrsy does not have armor. Nox is trying to get him a cross, but it all has to come down to spam, and Lyrsy will be able to get through. But he's still sticking around trying to fight. A very aggressive idea here. Jermanji does have the AK to work with now. But it's a round which doesn't bode too well for Detonate. Momo's got him from behind on Cave, and Woohoo will finish off Noxio as well. B-site's wide open. Save for Jermanji for sure. Landmaz might just be his buddy. Make sure the AK can get saved into the next round. But Vendetta's going to grab a T-side lead on Ancient. And what's even more impressive, they're going to do it with presumably all 5 alive.
More chances to actually rack up more T rounds. Always a good sign. Landmass has picked up the AK off of his fallen teammate's dead body. But Woohoo's fast on the trade. Flying through T-spawn. And nothing saved over for Detonate. Again, we're in a situation where the buy won't look the best. I mean, rifles will certainly be bought out here, I'd assume, from Detonate. But again, I mean, I don't think there's going to be that same amount of utility that we were hoping to have across the board. Yeah, as I say that, 2 FAMASs are bought up here so they can have that extra utility. But look at the economy on the other side of things. So many opportunities here for Vendetta to steamroll through this T-half.
Yeah, no op, no kits, minimal utility. It's a poor buy from Detonate. And it doesn't bode well for their future in this series. Now, this was one where we expected Vendetta to win. Vendetta are the heavy favorites. And realistically speaking, it probably would have been 2-0. But with the promise that Detonate showed on last map on Mirage, it's a really sad occurrence here. I mean, they're just getting mowed down here by Vendetta, just taking duels, really. And that's kind of what turned the table on Mirage as well, as Vendetta just started winning those 1v1s. They started taking the confidence peaks. They started beating Detonate at those 1v1 duels, which was Detonate's main bright spot in that first map, in that first half. So for Detonate, the one thing that they had going for them that really was their consistent factor has slipped away. And now, how do they recover? Because they're on a map they don't like. They're down now. They've lost 4 rounds already on the CT side. They're about to go broke again. Is it a little too early to be calling GG here?
I mean, I don't want to ever call GGs too early. We've seen times in the past where that comes back to bite casters.
Yeah.
But all in all, you've still got to consider the numbers here. And at the end of the day, 4 rounds in and of itself in some realms of ECL competition is enough. Like, straight up. Considering that they're probably going to get a 5th year, we've already lost the threshold of that we kind of set for ourselves earlier on, that Detonate kind of needs double digits in order to stay within this. And so I'm looking for heroics, and jermanji, he's been offering up quite a few opening kills down in mid. But we've got to get more. We've got to see more individual flair from Detonate as they barrel in to the B site.
There's a little bit more from Learsy, but it's only 1 kill, and Momo and Tinder have established some control of the B bomb site. They can get that down as well as the smokes come through. Landmass with a good one. Momo does get assisted by that flash from consti. It's the only reason he gets that kill there, and presumably doesn't get taken down. Landmass behind the fire will not be able to carry on, and jermanji sprayed down to 20 HP. This should be a round for Vendetta here now. Though there was a bit of a nervous portion for them with the kills coming through from the Deagles, those headshots coming in. But jermanji really doesn't have much HP to threaten with anymore. He's got to hit the headshots, or I guess the body, any shot would do on consti. A stomach shot might be able to take out Momo. But for the most part, this one is unwinnable for him, especially as the time ticks down with no kit available. He's going to go for some damage, maybe get the drop onto consti. He will indeed manage that, but that's all he gets. And Detonate, that's the closest they've had in a round in, I want to say, 5.
That's brutal, right? That really tells the tale of the game. Only Deagle's actually netting some positive signs here for Detonate, and the rifles are back out again. AWP for landmass. I don't think we've necessarily seen that in this map from him yet, right? I don't think they've had enough money to
out towards red, round 3.
Right. So need a little bit more from him. We saw some good things from Learsy. I saw some good impact from him on Mirage. I need more from him as well.
So what you're saying is you need everyone to step up.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds a bit silly to say that, you know you've got to hit shots. After all, it is a shooter. But at the end of the day, that's sometimes what it comes down to. It's not even these rotations. I mean, players are on the sites that have been hit, but shots not landing, and at the end of the day, the rounds are being racked up, and we're now in a man advantage situation. You want to convert this if you're Detonate. And now this 1v3 should be all she wrote for consti, but he's got a little bit of room to at least breathe for a little while.
Did Landmass just tag him?
I think
he did. Had to have been through a couple of walls, because there's only a little bit of damage taken by consti, but I didn't see a nade thrown. And, well, he gets mowed down. Double op on... I don't know how I like the double op setup here.
I think I've seen...
It can be good, but...
Yeah, I've seen some iterations where it does work, but again, very similar to Mirage. Retakes are very difficult with them. Once the surprise factor is gone, it's pretty easily abusable. I think an Ancient more so. You have an A set piece, you kind of nullify that AWP straight away. Now that there's more viability with the number of bomb plant spots, it's definitely much more risky. But at this point, what can you really do if you're Detonate? You've got to throw some kind of surprise as an underdog this time around. And with Landmass not finding enough success on that AWP, hey, maybe you give Jermanji a bit of a go. He's having a bit more impact down in mid. So maybe that is the changeup that the CT side needs to kind of string together some rounds.
Yeah, they did call a timeout into this round too, Detonate. So they're really trying to do their due diligence and get as many rounds on the board as possible. This is a good start with a double op so they can get them working fast and early, but if an op gets picked off, or there's 2 ops in the retake, it's going to get a bit hairy for Detonate. And they've actually given up complete control of mid. They have the Donut player. Actually, Lambus is playing Donut with the op, but that's a very easy smoke position. You just run up middle. Now, do they flash into Donut? Do they dry swing this? They're going to dry swing it, and Lambus is getting an easy pick. He might even go back for more. That's a dangerous swing across, and he puts himself in a very vulnerable position with no support, but he's going to pick up a second, and now we're starting to see that Landmass impact with the op here as he's doubled down out towards middle. Now down 2 players. What do Vendetta do? They're going to start to hedge their bets towards B. But Landmass has done enough to set his team up for success here.
Yeah, and 3-man setup here. Jermanji's that double op hasn't actually sprung yet. And although there's been cave control given over to Tender, it's still going to be difficult. I'm still not writing this round out for Detonate. Oh, no.
Oh, no. Yeah, you were wise to do that, my friend. The nade does come and do a lot of damage, but they brought it to a level 3v3, and what is on the retake? The 2 ops, but Wolffe's spray. The 1 rifle picks up 2 through the smoke, and Wolffe's trying to be the hero right now. It's all down to Tender with a 25-second 1v3, 1 tap onto Jermanji. That is clean. Does he have 2 more? Nobody is wounded for him. He taps the bomb, looking for a peek. The Molotov could be his undoing, but he's still able to win the duel against Wolffe.
Oh, no.
Landmass now with the op at a 1v1. Even if Detonate win this, their economy is going to be shredded. And the Landmass is looking the wrong direction. Op out. Lightning in the scope with a lightning strike op. And he will win the round for his squad. And he'll go grab the gun Gadir. Understandably so. I would too. But, geez.
That's
a 1v1 out of a 5v3.
Yeah, I mean, that's the impact you're looking for, right? Like, it should never get that dicey. But we were looking for Landmass to step up. Having just clutches go in your way, that's something that was super against Detonate throughout Mirage in the tail end as well. I mean, it boosts the momentum and the motivation on the side of Detonate. They need something to go in their camp, and finally something caves in for them. They did have 3 rounds, but they felt much more hollow compared to this 4th one.
I don't know. I feel like that one's still a very hollow victory because
Yeah.
5v3, 3 players on the site, and it comes down to a 1v1.
I'm just trying to really find some silver linings here for Detonate at this point, Boggs. It's a very dire situation here. They've got to take what they can get.
And they do have to take what they can get. Hopefully, the energy can get swarming up for Detonate. Get a little more momentum. Get a little more good vibes in the chat, in the call, because that's another thing, too. If you get tilted, you've lost the game there and then. Just, your mental's gone. You're not going to win. So for Detonate, they got to get positive vibes going. It's a little cliche, but it definitely does help the overall performance of the team when everyone's in a good mood. Vendetta called this last time out in a very preemptive strike from them in terms of attack pause, because they don't want to let Detonate get back into it either. They know that Detonate did put up some good numbers on Mirage. They don't want to let Detonate get into a groove again. And this would be a proper time to reset this CT side, too. And with Tech 9s and Deagles and AK, you can't rule this round out because we all know how potent those pistols can be.
Certainly. And they've gotten a lot of space here to run up lane. It's going to be this B-side Xe.
All that utility down. Learcy only 1 kill. Noxio blinded. Strikes for 2. Runs out of ammunition, but he's able to get out of dodge alive. 4v2 for Detonate, but if the bomb goes down, it could get dangerous. And Wolffe gets Tech 9'd by Consti. The double tap comes in, and he can even get the rotation on to Jermanji, who's behind. Landmass has struck for 1, but it's another costly round, and the bomb's going to go down for Vendetta. A half-buy round is winnable for Consti here. He might not make it to the site before the op can get in position. No, he will be able to get the bomb down. Landmass, wait for your teammate, buddy. Don't go it alone. Don't bring this to a 1v1. That's the one thing you should not do. And he does it. Noxio, vulnerable, but he spots Consti out around the box. Back-to-back 1v1 clutches from very favorable scenarios for Detonate. This is not financially viable.
Oh, it certainly isn't, Boggs. I mean, now the buy's out for Vendetta. This is like a potential knockout blow here for this side. I mean, they're in pole position to just run away with this game if they can actually take them down here. AWP still recovered, so in terms of that financial blow, it hasn't been that stringent. But look, at the end of the day, you look at the economy on the CT side, it is still very, very susceptible to some serious damage. And this is a key opportunity for Vendetta to run away with that.
This is a prime opportunity. It doesn't get much better than this. It's not quite A5 Wagyu beef, but it's really good. Landmaz takes a dink on that initial duel as well. Does win it in the end, but consti is struck back elsewhere out on Momo. And Learcy's going to aggress in cave, get that smoke. That's a lot of information for Vendetta to use. The bomb's out towards B though, and the op goes in. jermanji and Learcy find a couple of kills, but Pluto and Tender trade it back. And the economic wars really have initiated here. But it always favors the Landmaz. You're not going to push this, are you? Oh my gosh. I don't know whether to be impressed with the cojones or disappointed. And, well, disappointed is the way it ends. Because Wolffe's got a 1v2 this one now, and the bomb's going to go down with plenty of time to set up in the post for Vendetta.
That's a brutal situation from Landmaz, but you gotta respect the guts there. Spam being thrown out, Wolffe's position known, trying to reroute himself to cave, indecision with this flashbang. He does have a kid, he does have a smoke, but still a very, very difficult crossfire to break here. First in CT lockdown. Oh, this is a tough situation here.
Yeah, the trades are there. It's not even really a ninja position. He does get the one, but he has an opportunity. Tender converts it before Wolffe can flick around. And now we see the economy coming to bear for Detonate. They are broke. They can get a couple of pistols, but it's not what they need right now. What they needed was 10 rounds out of this half. They cannot get it now. And the 9-6 for them is rather unlikely, considering they would have to win a half by and then 5 more, or 4 more, 3 more. But either way,
I know it sounds unorthodox, but maybe a force buy couldn't have been a bad idea with how in flux Vendetta's economy is as well. But instead, they want to play a little bit safer, and it's just a contact hit play here, Boggs, and it works out wonders. Woo gets the opening pick. They should be able to barrel their way into the A side, and they'll get a plant off of this. So, I mean, you'd be so happy if you're Vendetta at this point. 7 rounds on the T side is all you could ask for.
Yeah, I think 6 rounds even is solid. 7 is just even better. And there's a pretty clean round from Vendetta. That'll allow them to establish some economy again after those very close rounds going back and forth. And Detonate, they can buy up again. They will not have the services of an op unless jermanji glass cannons, which he will not. And I think that's a wise decision, considering utility is very important, and armor as well, as the nades have been on point for Vendetta so far. But if Vendetta get 8, 9, even 10, Detonate are up a creek without a paddle. And it just keeps getting exponentially worse with every round they lose here. They need to find a way to get a win. They need to find a way to win the half at the very least. And it just looks like, quite frankly, at the base level, they're losing the initial aim duels. It's coming down to losing to the contact plays. There's a good start, though. That does give them something. But Landmaz has to play against the contact here, and there's trade potential. He can't even get the first.
Oh, that's brutal. I mean, you can get all this A site for free, essentially. I mean, Wolffe does pull one back. They don't have smokes for Temple. It doesn't plume fast enough. And Wolffe, jermanji knocks, they all chime in. And I mean, hey, you do go with the contact, but as soon as you get that opening pick, you've got to pounce with the utility.
Mm-hmm.
And that's none of the sort. Instead, Detonate's a bit more proactive, beats them to the punch, locks in a 6th, a really necessary 6th this time around. And this force buy feels a bit odd to me from Vendetta. Especially with how flawless that round from the CTs panned out. This is a bit odd. A bit of a faster play out of B, perhaps?
think they're trying it, but look at the counter from Detonate. 2 players pushing down, and Momo's got one on the Tech 9. Learcy only able to get one more. Noxio going to have to solo the site now. Wait for a rotation from Wolffe, which is going to take a minute to come. A lineup for him, though. Noxio 2 and almost a third. Gets the dink onto Woohoo, who's still alive for now and finished off nicely by Wolffe. A bit of a costly round for Detonate, but I don't think they care anymore. They are 1 kill away from getting another round on the board. They have the bomb down on site. And Pluto about as far from winning this one, at least as far from the bomb as, well, Pluto is from the center of the solar system. But if you can get closer, get that bomb down, maybe things will heat up a little bit more. Maybe he'll go from Pluto to a Jupiter or even a Mars. And if you can get that 1 kill, perhaps even a Mercury. We'll see, though. He's stolen it away, and this really opens up the round because he can get on towards the A site with no fear at all. He doesn't know that, of course, but he's making the right read. He's making the right call. And at what point did Detonate realize maybe we should check and see if the bomb's still on site?
You don't want to split up here if you're Detonate. You've got the man advantage. You want to play the trade game. And so I respect the decision to actually stick to your guns, stay on the B site, give over the bomb plant, sure. And I mean, if you're on the other side of the equation, if you're Pluto, you've got a smoke molly and a flash. You've got enough time to at least stall for a little while, get settled in your post plant position. Yeah, smoke off CT, molly off back temple, get your plant confirmed, so that your money can get in check, and then see what you can do in this clutch.
He knows at least one player's coming in through CT. That shot across the bow gives him a little bit of information. Pluto, he's in a very, very aggressive position. He's got a lineup! And he's got them both. What a clutch from Pluto. 1v2 with so much time. The utility really allows him to establish himself, and then he just takes an aggressive angle into Temple, crouches down behind, pops up at the right time, and gets a bit of a lineup to help him out. And he goes from being an exoplanet to being the center of the solar system, to being the sun. And this opens up this half for Vendetta. 9-6 now possible for him. Detonate. Around to Rue. And they've used 2 Molotovs to the same position. That's not a good start.
Definitely frazzled now, Detonate. That should be the final nail in the coffin, in my opinion, just for this momentum to completely swing in their favor for Vendetta. I mean, I have not actually seen that off angle used that often, and it works out. It works out very well. And now we're sitting in a situation where this Mac 10 can kind of wreak havoc with an extreme lack of helmets on Detonate. Yep, there's Learcy down, and Cave firmly in control of Vendetta. They spiral on out onto the B site, and this should be a 9th confirmed. What a fantastic T-half year for Vendetta.
It was a phenomenal T-half from Vendetta. To think it could have been even stronger for him, too. They get 9 out on their T side, and they go into that second half with an indomitable lead. We'll see if they can close it out after the break. Vendetta with a vengeful T-half on Ancient, picking up 9 rounds. Now they go into the stronger side, the heavily favored side on this map. Up by 3 with only 7 needed to convert this one and take this series 2-0. I'm Boggs, joined by Paladin. And Paladin, this one could be over very, very quickly.
Certainly. Utility out to use in mid, and it's up on to B quick and fast. Momo to take first contact.
Got one, gets flanked and pincered, does only get one, but Tender's come up on Snake, and like a snake in the grass, he's struck, but he's only able to bruise the heel of one. And he cannot come up with any more just yet, but the 3 Detonate players are stuck in a funnel up towards middle, and Consti will fry a couple of those players out. And from Donut, last man standing is Jermanji, who gets mowed down by Woohoo. And there's double digits for Vendetta, and a very clean one at that, only losing 1 player. This one looking great for the Vendetta boys.
If you wanted to write a long tale about how Detonate came back in this beautiful series to deny auto relegation, you would have had to have started with that pistol win, Boggs, and now the story either gets very, very long or very, very short.
Yeah, I mean, it's really going to come down to their matchup against Victorum. Regardless, this would have just given them a much better spot to be in. But the way they played today, they've shown signs of brilliance, and also just signs of kind of rolling over and letting Vendetta just scratch him on the belly in a sense. This is just a mowdown round of a force buy. It's been completely obliterated, all down to Jermanji, who's in a 1v3 with no bomb. He does pick up a second, but he takes a dink as well. And there goes Momo to run him down from over top. The M4 will be presumably recovered. No, he doesn't grab that. He's still on the Galil. He picks up a decoy instead, or a flash. At least it's a flash, not a decoy, but I feel like the A1S would have been a little better than the Galil.
Yeah.
Still, though, it's a round victory.
All's well. I mean, another eco here. Stat pad. Get that economy up. Really just trounce your way on over to that big number 16 at the top of your screen.
Look at the pistols for Detonate. It's just not there. Tender with a couple out in cave. Momo goes aggressive, but Tender's going to basically seal this round single-handedly. Looking for the ace. Taps away one, has no ammunition, and he actually does get the ace. I didn't think he got the last kill.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful. I mean, doing that all with 1 clip, I mean, it's an eco, but hey, it looks pretty good. You put that on your highlight reel.
Oh, that's a clip for sure. What a way to finish it off with the 1 tap and then through the wall. That's why I didn't think he got it. I was like, there's no way he gets this one too. And no, 2 rounds was enough. 20 round ace. 4 bullets for each player. That's what it breaks down to. That's some crisp, clean aim from Tender, who actually has the most kills by far, almost double his next teammate. Pluto's going to try and catch up, but it's been the Tender show here on Ancient. I can't believe I didn't notice that before. That's a massive performance from him. Yeah, the 8 still bolstering a bit, but he's still at 18 coming to that round. Woohoo does go down early, though, goes hunting, and he gets caught. Momo trades it back, but takes a dink. Pluto in the back lines, though, in towards spawn. Will go 1 for 1. But look at that from Consti. It's all down to Jermanji and Learsy, and this one spiraling out of the control of Detonate yet again.
I think Momo spotted the bomb there. Or, sorry, Pluto, rather. Possibly. And so it's really up to Tender here, the star of Ancient, to really dethrone Detonate entirely. And now Momo's trying to surge forward as well. I think he'll catch his timing, and that's the bomb, Boggs. This has just gone from bad to worse.
Yep. And the high HP player.
Yeah.
Man, Detonate can't buy anything good right now, can they?
It's all, I mean, there's nothing going in their favor at this point, right? Timings, weaponry, money, time, rounds. It's just so difficult.
It is. Everything's going wrong for Detonate right now, and sometimes it's just the way the cookie crumbles. They haven't called a timeout in a while, though, and at this point, might just seem like a bit of a conceding factor to do what they can, and what they can is just lose their gun around no bomb plant, either the Molotov. It's what they should be throwing there. Learsy, it's what he needs to do, but it reveals his position, and he falls down to Tender, who's just waiting for a bit of information. 3 rounds is all they need now, Vendetta, to take this one in a 2-0 fashion. A good recovery on Mirage, and this one looking like an absolute stomp. Kind of what we expected, though, coming into Ancient, to be honest.
Yeah,
Just
I
seeing
mean,
the statistics.
yeah, we painted a pretty picture, at least on Mirage, for a competitive match, but if we wanted 3 maps, if we wanted that upset from Detonate, it had to have been starting off strong and then working their way on over to Nuke. Jermanji, hey, if we've got to talk about silver linings in this map, this guy's had some serious impact. He's given quite a number of opening picks for Detonate. Sadly, it actually hasn't been able to amass to enough for round conversions, but it is giving them at least legs into a couple of these rounds. Now, Consti, he doesn't really care. He's shutting things down quite early, and there shouldn't be much to really write home about it with all this control that Vendetta has been able to muster.
Yeah, the wallbang spam's not going to connect, but consti is stabilizing things here. Tender only able to get one with that little cheeky boost over the smoke, but his one way was a bit of a one and done. Look at the positioning of Wolffe, though. He's all the way in the back lines here. He can get the drop on Momo, or if he plays his timing right, oh, he can't get Decay, but he can still get that kill and upgrade to a rifle. Consti's now going to be wondering what the heck is going on. Woohoo's all the way elsewhere on the map. Learcy's watching for him, but this 2v2 is now winnable. Consti with a lot of work to do from Cave is smoked out and the bomb goes down. Detonate trying to go down with another round victory, trying to scrape their way back into a winnable scenario. And it all starts with taking it one round at a time. They've done almost enough, but almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. And Woohoo shut down by jermanji. Had an opportunity to pull it off, but Detonate can breathe a sigh of relief. A good kill from the man you mentioned, jermanji. And it keeps Detonate alive for now. And actually, what's the buy going to be like for Vendetta utility-wise? Pluto's on an MP9. Tender at least has a full belt, and Momo will have a couple, but they have the op, they have the MP9. It's not going to be terrible. It's not going to be phenomenal utility-wise. But Vendetta, if they lose this one, gives an opportunity for Detonate to pile a couple more rounds on the board and maybe bring this to double digits.
Yeah, you want to put the foot down as early as possible for Vendetta. Scale back on a little bit more of that aggressiveness and confirm that 14th. You brought it down to another 1v1. That's well and good. You've got another chance to break, and you got to run with it if you're Vendetta. But on the other side of the equation, if you're Detonate, hey, they've given you room here to come back into this game. And with this A contact play on the cards, it's going to be up to both Woohoo and Pluto to turn the tides here. Even though there's an opening on the B side of the map, they should be aware with this stack here. Oh.
Well, not working out too well for Vendetta. Aggressive play in Cave is the first casualty. They haven't cleared out Donut. They haven't cleared out Donut. This is a huge oversight, and Woohoo can capitalize. Picks up 1 and 2, not the third, as it's Noxio who actually stopped planting the bomb to make sure they got the kill. That's a good heads-up play from Noxio, making sure it did not turn into something completely unsalvageable. Momo gets 1, but he has to clutch now 1v2. Knows where Wolffe is. The flash comes in. Does not know where Learcy is, though. Makes the jump sound and the reload, so Learcy can just bide his time. Hits the headshot. Another 1v1 won by Detonate. How many of their rounds have come via a 1v1 from a situation which should have been so much more winnable for them? At least 4 rounds.
Sometimes how T-side Ancient works out. I mean, you'd really try to rely on those clutch situations going in your favor in the afterplants. And at the end of the day, the money has been broken for Vendetta. They found a way to scrape through. And, I mean, look, you've dodged a bullet yourself. Now you get a little bit of room to stat pad yourself, to get a little confidence under your feet, and see if you can get back into this game. Still 5 rounds the difference. Presumably 4. But somehow, some way, Boggs, I mean, there's some room here for Detonate to at least compete.
Yeah, if they can get double digits, anything's possible here. It's not completely all said and done just yet. And Tender does get taken down first. He's been a key player for this Vendetta side. Momo takes a little bit more damage. But here comes Wolffe to mow down one. Has to be careful not to get caught by the CZ of Woohoo. He's a one-ding situation, and Woohoo has been crisp with the headshots, but Wolffe does him one better. Rings his bell. Momo taken down. 13-9 here, the scoreline. Buy up again for Vendetta the next, but a flawless victory here if Wolfie's able to stay alive, if Pluto doesn't pick up an exit, means that the money's getting a little bit better for Detonate. they can't afford to lose a couple of rounds, sure, but it's a good confidence booster here, even though it's just against the half buy, just against the pistols. It's a good sign for Detonate. They're starting to get some rounds on the board.
We talked about it a lot on Mirage, the individuals being such an important piece of the puzzle for Detonate to solve the series. And if you can get that confidence up, look, dude, in ECL, a lot of the times it comes down to that confidence. It comes down to that ballsiness to know, you say, I am the better individual to win these 1v1s. And it starts with those eco kills. I know they feel a little bit simple. They feel a little easy to pick up. But they do a lot to the subconscious. You feel like you can actually win some of these buy rounds now.
Yeah,
But I say that and Tender's just barreling down Snake here.
he had support too. It is traded back, which does favor Vendetta, or rather Detonate theoretically. Learcy, Consti's got the trade here on the Naxio, and Learcy's caught from behind, not aware of Consti's positioning perhaps. Maybe a bit of a miscomm, but there's the bomb down outside the gates. And the gates seem to be closing on Detonate here. Vendetta, they had a bit of a slide. Consti will grab the Yop. He's low on health. And he's aggressing in towards middle. But look at jermanji. If he can get the cave drop, there's an opportunity here. I think cave would be the best possible option for that flank, but coming down B ramp wouldn't be a bad idea either. He's got to time it well with Wolffe, though. That's the more important thing. So they have to work together on this pincer move to really have things go in their favor. And jermanji's playing the timing. He's playing the trigger discipline. And he's going to get both of them for free here. Yes, he is. But in comes the cave play. The Molotov is going in towards CT. And Wolffe might just go and try and stick the plant early on. jermanji actually just takes the fight instead. Bomb goes down. There goes the cave molly. And a winnable situation now for Detonate from something that seemed so dire just a couple of minutes ago.
Couple holes being shown from middle. I mean, they've been getting into red room for free a couple of times here. Position should be known. No kits up for Vendetta. This is a tough retake, even in the 2v2. Maybe a save's on the cards.
They should save. Lack of a kit, lack of health on consti. Yeah, they got to save here. Because now they no longer have that buffer, do they? They're up by 3. And if they would have lost both guns, they would not really have enough for a full buy. They can get a force around this. Or at the very least, they can get a half buy around the rifle and the op. The op alone should be good for a kill at the very least. The rifle as well should be good for a kill at the very least. Everything else can be built off deagles and 5.7s, an upgrade here and there, and you can get around together. But if you're Vendetta, this is timeout time. Like, 4 rounds in a row lost, most likely a 5th. You're in the danger zone now.
Yeah, you might be feeling comfortable in terms of rounds, but even that's been halved. It's gone from 6 to 3, and Wu is going aggressive. He's gonna get all the information here, and Consti's trying to pick up the pieces immediately after. So man advantage situation, but only an AWP left on the table in terms of weaponry here for Vendetta. And Detonate abandoned ship, but look at this. They're being cut off.
Well, there's some kills going back the way of Vendetta, and this is a winnable situation for them. Perhaps they can find a way to get back in. If Detonate lose this round, it is a brutal way to set themselves up for a map loss. Oh
no.
Gosh. Team Dink from behind. And that makes him a lot more squishy. Momo is tucked into the cubby, but he is mowed down well by jermanji, who swings it to the op, and that could be what sets this one over the edge for Detonate. The cave play from Pluto is here. There's a lot of time for Naxio, though. He does not need to make a move just yet. He walks into the op of Consti. It grabs 3, and that is why you save the gun sometimes, folks. That op pretty much saves the round for Vendetta.
A stark contrast to the double op setup that they had on Mirage, where they went on for some incredibly unnecessary retakes. This time, they stay a little bit more cool-headed. Keep that AK alive, keep that AWP alive, and it works wonders. They go aggressing into the A side of the map, immediately start to stay mobile with it, constantly being aggressive as ever in his rotations. And 14th on the board, knocking on the door of a series victory and locking in a potential spot in the playoffs here at ECL North America Season 42. Huge, huge news for essentially a roster that a lot of people kind of wrote off as soon as that Bad News Bears core disintegrated. It didn't feel like there was enough potential behind for another playoff run to be on the cards. But hey, way to turn things around here.
Yeah, it's a massive way to turn things around. It's been rather incredible. And the fact that they're at 5-1 now with the potential for a 6-1 finish, really good stuff. Jermanji, though, he wants to stay alive here. He does not want to go out quietly. At the very least, he's opened up the B site. There's still one more here. That is Consti. But Jermanji might just push around the smoke, and he's going to get the drop on Consti, the Opera Vendetta. But he will not over-aggress. A wise decision from the star man on Detonate. The bomb goes down, and it ticks away. And Vendetta don't necessarily have to go for this. In fact, they're playing the wise card. Consti and Pluto can drop over for Momo and Tender. That'll get a full buy up for Vendetta in the next. But Jermanji single-handedly wins a round for Detonate, keeping them within striking distance of Vendetta. As long as Vendetta's kept off 15, anything's quite literally possible for Detonate. And Wolffe knows he can hunt. He has the money for it. Only gets one. But still, that makes it so much more viable for Detonate to get a better chance of victory in the next round. And if Consti or Woohoo fall after this, it just gets better and better exponentially for Detonate. Woohoo's gone. Consti, can he stay alive here? This whole chance now rests on his shoulders. And, well, he's listening to the BGs right now. That kill will keep him alive. And he is staying alive.
Huge save there for Consti. But an even better hunt there from Detonate. Taking down 2 rifles is quite important. It takes a severe hit. Now you've got to basically, you can't go all in here. You look at Tender, you look at Woohoo, they've got to just bite the bullet and say, let's just take Deegs here. Bit of armor around for the rest of the team. Momo on an MP9, but a bit of bite here for Vendetta, but not as much as it could have been.
There's a nice one for Wolffe onto Woohoo to entry in towards the A side. The rotation from Pluto comes in and he does grab one and almost a second through the smoke, but he takes quite a bit of damage as well. Might toss that M4 over to Tender. He's on for a 30 bomb, as a matter of fact, but the bomb's sticking away for Detonate, and Wolffe just watches Consti walk into him, goes for a second swing, and down goes Pluto as well. Momo trades it back, but it's still a 3v2 in the favor of Detonate, and they're looking to net a 12th round here. Paladin, they are now essentially within 2 rounds of striking distance. If they can turn this one around and keep this round in their favor, they're 2 rounds from tying up Vendetta, 3 rounds from guaranteeing overtime. And what a collapse it would be from Vendetta, quite honestly, if they do not convert this one.
What a capitulation we would say if this round, the next following couple of rounds actually goes in Detonate's favor. You say striking distance, Boggs, and I completely agree with you. It's just basically 1 buy round away from completely spiraling out of control here for Vendetta. They've got to right the ship, and they've got to right the ship now.
I feel like they have to fix their mast first, man. The wind's knocked out of their sail, or their sail might not even be able to be up. It's a Detonate pause, though, and they're trying to make sure they don't make any mistakes now. They see light at the end of the tunnel. They see a chance for victory here, and they are going to do a good job by calling this timeout. It's a really good call. It slows things down a little bit more, which technically could hurt them, but at the same time, it keeps them from getting too overhyped, too over-aggressive, and from making some of those mistakes that we've seen them fall into when they do start to get some rounds going.
Certainly. I'm looking to just sticking to their guns. I mean, they played a bit more passive on Mirage. On Ancient, it seemed a little different. They were a bit more willing to take some more aggressive duels, and it's been working out. But at this point in time, I'd like to say that they should try to reorient themselves to more of that passive tendency. And instead, it's just a full-on capture of the mid position. And they've got all of Snake again. Look at all of this banana presence that they've got. Could actually be able to pounce. Yeah, these spams starting to really hurt for Tender. And that nade combo with Momo settles things down here for Vendetta. Finally, another opening pick going their way. But Jermanji!
Oh my gosh. That's massive. That's tying it up, but Tender just swings out wide. He does not want to be eclipsed by Jermanji, and he will get a man advantage back for Vendetta. But there's a problem here, Paladin. A site is wide open, and Detonate have chosen the right answer. It was a multiple choice question, true or false. They got the right call. They're going to get the bomb down here and set up for this post plant. But they got to move here because the rotations are coming in from Vendetta. They're realizing this very quickly. 2 through A main, 1 through Donut, and all the utility's been expended for Detonate. It's going to come down to the fights. And there's mollies and flashes available for Vendetta here. Oh, Nox gets caught. And Wolffe, he's been spotted. He's been flamed. He's been dropped. And Vendetta grab match point here off of the back of a flying retake. And perhaps a bit of a combination of over hastiness and at the same time, too slow of a play from Detonate.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, as soon as they try to pounce on that A play, there wasn't enough time to actually get settled in those after plants. And although there wasn't enough utility on the retake for Vendetta, they do it very well in those micro states. Cute little jump spot there from Momo, spotting out the final player after winning that first aim duel, and it's all curtains there. They even had a backup plan with baiting in the second player in main to make sure that round was confirmed. So very well done to Vendetta to confirm match point. And now it's trying to knock down that final domino ahead of them. One last buy here for Detonate. They don't want to go down without a fight. Tender gets his bell rung down at 3 HP. Nade should finish him off. Oh, no, just one little bit of damage. He hangs on by a thread. Aggressive nature from Woohoo, and what beautiful taps there on Aladdin Mass and Wolffe. And suddenly we're in a 5v3 bogs. This might just be the beginning of the end.
It just might be, unless jermanji, Lyrsi, and Noxio can say something. Jermanji's been huge for Detonate, and he still lives. So that is a plus for Detonate. They're throwing the utility on towards the B side. They're getting ready to go. Momo flashes from around side, but he's going to get taken down if they're only doing half damage to Lyrsi. Tender will spray down one, but he will get countered. The bomb is dropped. No, it's still in the possession of Noxio. I thought it dropped forward for a second there. He's able to get it down, but look at the positioning here. Woohoo, Consti, and Pluto. They're all in a good spot for the retake, and now it's all down to jermanji on 32 HP to make this one hold off in a clutch situation where he has no utility to work with. This is a round victory, surely for Vendetta, but he's gotten the first kill. And if he isolates the 1v1s, he can win this. Pluto's sticking and holding. Jermanji's got one. Pluto's off the bomb. He's been spotted, and he's been dropped. Jermanji, 4 kills, 1v3, 30 bomb on the round, keeps Detonate alive. We're not done, folks. Vendetta cannot close it out because jermanji says no.
Oh, what a fantastic clutch there from jermanji, isolating the 1v1s. Absolutely pantsing Vendetta there. What a clutch. We spoke about the impact from this guy, and it finally nets them a huge, huge round win. Look at what it's done to Vendetta. Pots and pans here to try and close out the game. But man, if you talk about a momentum shift in the mentality of Detonate, you've got to be loving being in their camp right now.
Hey man, Samwise Gamgee was able to kill an orc with a pan.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
And Vendetta have been good with the pots and pans. They've been very good with the blunt force trauma. The only thing is, that's a gutting round to lose. 1v3 to a player on 30 HP. Giving him the 1v1 duels as well. That's the biggest issue there from Vendetta, was that they literally gave him the 1v1s every single time. And now he's just opened up Donut. He's put a hole in it. He's going to try and exploit this A site. Pluto's going to hear the noise, but he does not have any cover. He's going to get mowed down. He doesn't look at his backside, even though all the noise is going that direction. Jermanji's picked up a second on the round, but he does not aggress forward. That's something he's really been good at doing, is getting those opening kills and then not pushing the issue further. Just waiting for the envelope to come to him, rather than extending into it. Consti takes all the damage. Now Jermanji's going to go on the hunt, looking for the 4K. Momo's going to get 1 kill in return, but Jermanji's still on the hunt. Lyrsi finishes off Tender. It's all down to Momo, who does finally put Jermanji out of the round, but Detonate have brought it to within 1. They brought it to within 1 of overtime. This was a 9-6 half for Vendetta. This is unheard of for Vendetta to choke this much of a lead on this map on the CT side of all things. And Detonate are calling one final timeout going into this last round of regulation.
Take your timeouts. This is for all the marbles. You want to set yourself up for success in terms of the season, it's got to come down to this round. You can't necessarily feel like there are ever tangible results in Counter-Strike that would result in something. But hey, this one round means so much to the Detonate boys. So take all the time you need. Make sure that you've got your T's crossed and your I's dotted. And on the Vendetta side, you got to get your head back in the game. You don't want to give away this momentum. Give opportunity for Detonate to move back onto the CT side in overtime. They'll just be brimming with confidence at that point. And you've got to do it with a quote-unquote lesser buy. It's not necessarily the prettiest one in terms of a buy round, but they've done well with this kind of a buy before. Surging through with mid, they've gotten a lot of early control. And Detonate, they're willing to pounce at the later stages rather than the former.
Yeah, they've done a great job of keeping themselves in it. Jermanji has a chance for 40. He can't get it in regulation, but he can definitely get it if they go to overtime. Vendetta getting aggressive. All this mid control, but it's being watched for by Wolffe. He's on the angle. He gets flashed off, though, and he will retreat. Looks to be a BN from Detonate, at least how they're posturing right now with about a minute 05 to go. And Vendetta are pulling out of mid, keeping an eye on A main now, because that could have been a target zone for Detonate. However, if they start to clear out A main and see nothing's there, they're going to know it's going to be a B end. And this cave contact 2 from Tender is going to be that first point. He's been so strong for Vendetta. If he gets this opening, it'll work out, but he's been chased away. He takes another position. And Detonate, they have to spring their traps soon. They can't let the rotations come, and they're walking into a stack.
They've managed to keep 3 players on the B site. No presence whatsoever from Detonate on the A side of the map. No CT aggression as well. So not enough information. It's going to be down to these 3 players.
Look how much is on the site in terms of utility. Jermanji gets the opening duel against Tender. Consti gets a flame kill. Momo's been spotted by Learsy, the gun barrel sticking out. That's a free kill for Learsy. Might have gotten a little hairy. He had some help coming through as well, but it's a 4v3 for Detonate to hold the post plant down. Woohoo, Consti and Pluto. 1 flash for utility, no kits available. They need to get some kills and fast as that time is ticking. The Molotov buys more time, but Consti strikes onto Landmaz into a 3v3. Good start. Out goes the flash, but it doesn't really do anything at all. Woohoo jumps across, and he gets the kill into Learsy. Now this is where things get messy for Vendetta, or for Detonate rather. Jermanji, Wolffe, 2 kills to go. Pluto in a 1v2. Has to clutch it out to win it. He gets the dink on a Wolffe. He's got both! Pluto with a 1v2 to win it. Wait, does he have the kit?
No time. Oh, does he have it?
I think he has it. He's got it. What a way to win! Pluto! An impossible defuse, an impossible clutch, and he pulls it off for Vendetta.
Oh man, I thought we were going to overtime for sure. Man advantage situation going into a B bomb side retake. That should be all she wrote, but the jumping MP9 from Woohoo, man, I mean, talk about through the skin of their teeth here for Vendetta after getting a 9-6 half on their T side of Ancient. This was quite impressive from Detonate to keep it this close. I'm actually, I have to say commiserations to Detonate, commiserations to Jermanji for a fan.